We know you love us, but the information on our podcast is provided for educational and entertainment purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute for professional advice of any kind. If you or anyone you know needs professional help, please seek mental health services. Welcome to the Date Podcast, the show for anyone navigating the dating and relationship world. We interview celebrities, talk pop news, discuss dating do's and don'ts, and debate relationship topics. We are available on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Please subscribe and review if you like what you hear. Check out our website, datepodcast.com, for more information. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now, let's get on with the show.
Hey, it's Zorric.
And Emma.
Host of the Day Podcast. We're so excited to do another show for you today because we have an awesome guest. Her name is Kirpa from a small, little, tiny show called The Bachelor, right? That's like the tiniest show.
I've never heard of that show ever
it's like
in
no
my
one
life.
ever talks about it,
No.
especially at work. I mean, who knows about that show?
Right.
But she's here. We're so excited to meet her and talk to her about her experiences and just ask about... Kirpa, just ask about your philosophy on dating and in general. That's what we're looking for from you. So
yeah, thanks for having me on, you guys.
yeah.
Of course.
Okay, so Emma,
Yes.
we're gonna talk to Kirpa, but first we're gonna talk about news.
Yes.
Do we have anything going on in the world today?
Can I just start off with?
the
fact that I am so
Yeah.
excited. Thank you.
About health.
Can I just start off with the fact that I am so excited that I have wine again in my cup, and it tastes so good. Oh my
Why?
gosh.
Why do you have wine in your cup today?
Because I finally went to the store to get some.
That's news. That's how you got.
I just want to start off with that.
Okay.
It is news and it is important.
Wait, does Kirpa drink wine? Do you drink wine, Kirpa?
I do drink wine, but my go-to is usually like tequila or vodka.
Vodka I can do, tequila I cannot.
Really?
Yeah.
Want that experience?
Yeah. Tequila's not my
everyone
friend.
has been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, one of my favorite artists in the whole wide world, Jack White, teamed up with Jack Black. So, the kind of there's that always, there are memes about Jack White and Jack Black, right?
Jack and Jack.
Right. So they actually teamed up to record a song, and they teamed up under the name Jack Gray.
So Kirpa, Jack White or Jack Black, if you had to choose?
I'm a big Jack Black fan.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
Come
Jack
on.
White, hands down.
No, you're the odd one out.
That man is handsome. He's a genius. He can sing, and he knows. I know he knows how to do things.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. What else?
Yeah. Anyways, so obviously, Jack Black has the Tenacious D
Yeah, he
thing,
does.
right? And so that's actually who they. So the three of them actually recorded together. He talks about going to his house and loving his house. So he was also fangirling. It was kind of cute. He created a video of him fangirling over Jack White.
Aww.
So
Nice.
I know, I love it. They performed at Lollapalooza.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I was excited about it when I read it. I was like, oh my gosh.
Okay.
That's what
What-
Zorric was like, what are you watching?
What
are
else you got?
watching?" Over the weekend, I was like, dun, dun, dun. A split was announced
Oh,
between
no.
this couple.
Oh, yeah.
You know who I'm
Uh-oh.
talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Miley Cyrus
That's-
and Liam Hemsworth.
Oh my gosh.
I actually messaged you about it over the weekend.
I forgot.
And you were not caring.
But I forgot it was Miley
It's a
Cyrus.
true tragedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really sad because I was really rooting for them. I really wanted them to make it work.
Yeah.
But then, Miley started just becoming so much more provocative and more provocative. I think that kind of bothers him a little bit. I don't think he wants her to be a stay-at-home wife. I just think he prefers if she's not flaunting everything everywhere all the time.
They just got
That's
married.
That's me, though. That's just my perception of it.
Uh-huh.
What do y'all think?
What do you think, Kirpa, about all that?
I mean, he's been really supportive of her. They've been together, 10 years dating on and
Yeah.
off?
I mean, because, they met during the, what movie? The Secret Song, something.
Oh, was it a Nicholas Sparks
It was a
movie or
Nicholas,
something?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I thought they were adorable, but I think she's still trying to figure out what she wants out of life. And
yeah, for sure.
She's just not ready to be tied down.
So didn't they just get married? Literally 6 months
December,
ago?
I think.
Oh, the last song. Yeah, they've been
Yeah.
over 10 years. Yeah.
So Emma,
Yeah.
put your therapist hat on. So is that a good idea? I feel like they tried to get married in a last attempt to make it work. Do you think that's what they tried to do?
No.
No?
I don't. I don't. No, because they broke up during her ballers phase. And I was not a fan of hers then because I was like, no. Where did this beautiful Hannah Montana that I looked up to go? And it was too much for me.
Yeah.
And so they broke up during that time, and then they reconciled, and they were like, yes, we love each other, and then they were together for a while before they got married.
Did they say who broke up with who?
Nope. It just says have agreed.
Yeah, because that's rough. Because do you think they were both in it to win it within the marriage? Because sometimes, Kirpa, I have friends that they're getting married and someone has more feelings than the other person, or somebody has hesitation, and then my friends 10 years later they get divorced and they tell me they felt something was wrong. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think if you're feeling that way, you shouldn't get married. If you're go with your gut, and if you're having those feelings of doubt or something's wrong, I don't think you should just stick it out.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I think that this is just me being biased, okay, too. I think. No, it is. It is me being biased. I think that he was in it to, he was in love with her, loves her. I think, 100%, if he can stay with her, he would stay with her. For me, I think she's the factor that wanted the divorce and wanted the separation. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah. I mean, isn't she already moved on? Wasn't she pictured with someone else already?
No, she was on vacation with Brody Jenner's ex, Caitlyn, over before this was announced. They were on vacation together.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is sad because he's a beautiful man and she's a beautiful woman.
He is beautiful.
That's a beautiful couple.
Yes, it just makes me so sad. I kind of got sad, and then I was like, well, now he's kind of in the field again, but then I got really sad. It was I was torn.
You have a chance, Emma.
I have a chance, and I'm still torn about it.
Just put it in the universe. And
part of me is if he ever wants to be hey, Emma, let's go on a date. Part of me is going to be how, PowerPoint presentation on how you need to get back with Miley Cyrus because that's the love of your life.
Maybe.
Anyways, it's sad. Everybody's heartbroken. I'm heartbroken.
Yeah.
Ugh,
me too.
I'm gonna drink wine.
Okay.
To commemorate
That'll
their
help.
year of marriage.
Is that it, Emma?
That's all I have today.
So, Kirpa, I'm going to ask you a question, and Emma, just about dating. So we found some questions from people in different scenarios, and we just like your take on something. And they're pretty short too. It's not too crazy. All right. So this first one is easy. It says, if you text goodnight first, should you be the one to start the convo the next day? I've always been split on this. If I say goodnight first and she says goodnight, do I text back first or should she double text? I don't want to seem desperate, but I also don't want to seem like I'm ignoring her. Kirpa, what do you think?
I hate these texting games. It's it's such a mind fuck. But I think if you're always the one reaching out, I think sometimes they should be the one to say good morning or initiate, just so you know that they are interested. You don't want to be the one having to put in all the effort.
Yeah, we have these stupid rules that guys are supposed to follow, like the 3-date rule, 24-hour rule, and I think it's ridiculous. What do you think?
Yeah,
Anna?
I hate it.
I agree. However, catch me on a bad morning, you better be the one texting me first. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Yep, I'm expecting you to text me first.
But we're not mind readers, okay? Like, we don't know what the hell you want us to do.
Well, if I'm texting you the night before about how horrible my day is, yes, you better text me the day before, the day after.
I think guys out there, just text anyway, right? I think that's a safe bet. But only text if you mean it. Because if you don't mean it, don't string her along. And same on the other side too. Like, if you don't like us, don't text us or just break it off, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that was an easy one.
That was easy.
Okay, so I have one more. I have so many good ones, but man. Okay, so basically this one, it's a long one, but this lady is getting really serious with her, I guess, potential boyfriend, or they've been dating for maybe 2 months now, but she has a really close best guy friend. And
did I write this, or
no,
did you write this
no.
for me?
No, and she wants to be very transparent and just leave everything out in the open for her potential boyfriend or future husband. Should she tell him about her best friend, and when and how?
Well, it's just a best friend. They haven't like hooked up or anything.
Nope, just really close. Just really close.
Oh, then that's fine. Your significant other shouldn't have a problem with you having friends of the other sex. Like, if they do have a problem with it, then there's problems with your relationship. There's trust issues and other things going on. Red flags.
Yeah, I agree. But some people don't like this. I have friends that are like, their boyfriend or their girlfriend is very jealous. But I think Kirpa's right. I think there is a problem. Like, if you're that jealous, if I can't hang out with who I want to hang out, and you can't trust me, then there's something freaking wrong here.
For sure. So I hung out with a lot of guys when I was an undergrad in high school. And as they all started getting girlfriends, I have lost all those friendships because the girls were like, that cannot be your friend. You cannot hang out with her. And some of them are like, good best friends, and I was close to them. And the friendships are gone. Mm-hmm. So I think that's really crappy. I don't like it.
Yeah.
If there's an issue, I'm torn.
Yeah.
Yeah. But most likely I'm going to be like, no, if I'm not feeling you, that's it.
Again, it's rules. Why are there so many rules? But then
exactly.
But then a lot of us, not me, of course, or Kirpa, or any.
Does your girlfriend care that your best friend is me?
No.
And I'm a girl?
No. Of course not. And if she did, there's a problem, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I hang out with, I think it's 50-50 for me, guys and girls. Kirpa, do you have more guy friends or girlfriends?
I have more girlfriends, but I do hang out with guys, and I think you should be able to introduce them to your significant other, whoever you're dating, and it shouldn't be a problem as long as you're not doing anything sketchy behind their back.
Right.
Yeah.
But sometimes also there's a thing where someone always likes somebody.
Okay.
Like
first of all, no.
Right? Well, not between us, but
not
like.
necessarily.
Yeah, I'm just proving him on purpose because we have never been attracted
but
to
I'm
each
saying
other.
there are some people out there where they say they're friends and all of a sudden.
Yes, you're right.
Someone gets
It
drunk.
can happen. It does happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's
You're
rough out there.
about to get dumped down on we're about to beat you up.
Okay. No beating up. Okay. So, Kirpa.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
You are. So, for everyone out there, where do you live?
I live in Whittier. So
Whittier.
it's not too far from downtown LA. It's LA County.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah. So for the audience out there, of course you know who she is. She was on The Bachelor 23. And how long ago was that? That was less than a year ago, right?
Yeah, we filmed in September.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So Whittier, LA, were you always from there? Did your parents move you around or born and raised there?
Yeah, born and raised in Whittier. My dad was actually born in Whittier and never left. So
Oh.
I've stayed here too for now.
Okay. So how was growing up in high school? Were you dating a lot, meeting a lot of guys?
I was very awkward, like junior high and freshman year and sophomore year of high school. So wasn't dating too much. And I
What
had
is
like
your
a very
version of
strict.
awkward?
I was just like braces coming
Yeah.
into my own. Like
Yeah.
I had like an emo phase, dyed my hair like purple. I was really weird. Let's not revisit that. But
It's part of who you are. We've all had that. We all just have to embrace it somehow.
yeah.
Yeah, especially Emma. Just kidding. So so you have, I think, two brothers. Is that correct?
Yeah, two younger brothers.
Two younger brothers. Okay.
Ooh, so you're the girl and the oldest.
Yeah.
Did they try to boss you around?
I actually bossed them around.
Nice. Good for you. That's how it
Yes.
should be.
Yeah, yeah. So are your brothers really protective? So when you're dating, are they like, "Who's this guy? Tell me about him."
They try to act like they aren't. At first, they'll kind of be like, oh, whatever, you're dating someone. But when I bring the guy home, they'll really grill him. And if they're not a fan, they're not afraid to like tell me like, nah, he's not going to last.
Oh.
They pretty much pick on him and kind of give him a hard time and
Yeah.
those,
yeah. If
typical
he can't
questions.
keep up with like our jokes and like we make fun of each other a lot. So if he can't be a part of that, then it's not going to work.
Have they ever liked anyone you've dated?
They did.
Okay.
So I was engaged at one point, and they did like that guy a little bit. So, yeah. But since then, no.
Gotcha. So when did you have your first boyfriend? Was that in college, high school, or?
That was in high school.
High school.
Junior year of high school.
It's so different when you're dating in high school. It's like you just don't know anything, right? I mean, I didn't know anything.
I thought hand holding was like a huge deal. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it's kind of. Was that your first kiss too, or is it later in life?
No, my first kiss was earlier, but it's like one of those like pecks. So I was like, yeah, a late bloomer.
Yeah. Okay. So in college, any serious boyfriends or?
Yeah, the same guy from high school that I ended up getting engaged to. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you guys stayed together.
Yeah, we were together almost 8 years.
Yeah.
What was kind of that defining factor for you or for y'all to like end things?
A lot of different factors. Family issues on his side. We just grew apart ultimately because we're so different. Like when you start dating in high school and until after college, we just became like different people, and it wasn't working out anymore.
Did y'all go to the same college?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and I was in a similar relationship. 7 years, got engaged, broke it off. But I think when you get engaged early, you valued it just like you said, Kirpa. Like you grow apart, but your values change. Like we talk a lot about on the podcast about finding someone who has the same values, beliefs, and all that. And if you're not on that same page, it's difficult,
Right.
So after that, is that how you decided to get on the show, or how did that happen?
No, I tried dating after the engagement ended. I dated two or three people after, nothing too serious. And then at some point, my friends were like, "This dating app stuff isn't working for you," and it was kind of a joke. They're like, "Why don't you just apply for The Bachelor?" And I was like, we were like 2 bottles of wine deep, and I was like, "Yeah, that's a great idea." And yeah, one thing led to another, and I ended up on The Bachelor.
And the rest is history.
Nice. So tell me more about your dating app experience in LA, because we're in Dallas. Was it just difficult to meet the right person, or were the dates just not successful? Like, what did you experience?
I mean, I think it's just in LA, there's just so many people that we're so easily disposable, I think. So if the guy gets sick of you or something doesn't feel right, I don't know, they'll just swipe on to the next. I haven't had any luck. I don't know.
Yeah. Did you go on dates though? Any crazy experiences? Like any bad dates?
Luckily I haven't had any terrible dates. I've had one where the guy definitely didn't look like his picture. It was probably like 20 pounds lighter
Oh.
which is not a problem, but it's like, just be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but luckily, no, everyone I've met is pretty nice, but nothing that I would want to like settle down with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with dating apps, it's kind of luck of the draw, and it's timing, and a lot of people it's kind of like applying for a job. Sometimes people embellish their experiences and stuff like that, and in your case, it's their pictures. I've been on dates where I couldn't even recognize a person because it's just totally like a total different person.
Goodness.
And it's just how society is today, right? It's we're trying to be something that we're really not. But okay, so when you got, I guess they call you or something that you were on The Bachelor, like how did you feel? Like what was going through your mind?
I thought it was a joke at first. I was like, wait, really? you want me to be on the show? Okay. But then I was really excited. And it turned out to be a great experience.
Yeah.
What was your family's reaction to your being accepted on the show?
My dad thought it was hilarious. And my mom was a little bit nervous because, I mean, you have to really open up when you're on the show. And they have the potential to be on the show at some point. So they were a little worried about that, or she was a little worried about that. But even after, when I got back, I told her all about it. And she was like, yeah, that was a good choice. I'm glad you did it. So they're very supportive.
Very cool. What did your brother say? I'm like so interested in them right now.
Yeah.
She's single, by the way. Go ahead.
Not like that. Just interested in their like reactions because I don't have younger brothers.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
You know?
They made fun of me. And no, they just made jokes, but they were also like really supportive. And like when the show aired, they would post stuff about it on like their social media and be like, watch my sister. It was cute.
Yeah, I would. I don't know how I would feel if I had a sister on the show. I would probably make fun of you more. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd make her life miserable.
I probably would. Yeah.
Gosh, you're horrible.
Yeah. So from knowing you were on, like, how long is that to where you're flown off to the location? Because it's recorded in LA, right, or somewhere else?
Yeah, we start in LA, and then if you get to the point where you get to travel, then you move on. But we start in LA. So you have like a little bit of time to pack and get ready, and they don't just spring it on you, and you're like, okay.
Yeah. Is it like the first day of school? Like, when you're in that house, it's like you don't know anybody. Like, were you gravitating towards somebody, or did you bond with somebody more than others in the group, or?
Yeah, it's definitely very nerve-wracking because you're right. You don't know anyone. Everyone's so beautiful. You're all there like competing or trying to win over this one guy. And I tried to just find people that like made me feel at ease, and I definitely did. Sydney, Tasha, Nicole. I mean, all the girls were so sweet. So we had a really good group, and we all got along, which was nice.
You mentioned the competitive piece. Like, how does that affect the relationship? Because you guys are friends. It sounds like you guys are bonding, but then at the same time, like you said, like you're all trying to win his affection.
Right. I mean, at first, it's not a huge deal because we've just met him, and you don't have that like strong connection. But yeah, as time goes on and you stay longer, it gets harder to like open up about your date with him or what went down because you're all dating the same guy. So it's a little weird.
Yeah. And so the first episode, whenever you're in the car or in the limo, are you just sitting there basically waiting for, is it a group of people in there, or is it just you in there by yourself and you walk out?
There were a few of us in there.
Oh, okay. I'm sure everyone's nervous there too, talking about things and. Yeah. I mean, it's funny because when you go from the limo to meet Colton, just like in any relationship, you have to make a great first impression. And there were some crazy gimmicks, right? That people were doing, like the sloth and the talking about popping cherries and V cards and stuff like that. So that's interesting. How that kind of relates to it is like really real life dating. Right,
it is. Yeah. You want to make a good impression because there's like 30 girls, and you want to make sure that he remembers who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Did the producers, or did they steer you in a way to, hey, this is the first time you meet somebody, you should do this or you should do that, or is it kind of like up to you guys to do whatever you guys think's right?
Whatever we want, yeah, whatever feels natural and right.
Yeah, yeah. And so Kirpa had a pretty good run. I mean, literally, you were there for so the first 6 episodes, you kind of like it ramped up, but we didn't see you kiss until later. But did you kiss earlier than that, or how did that happen at first?
Yeah, we did. It just, a lot of stuff is not shown just because they're taping so much and so much to show, and a lot gets cut. But yeah, we definitely had a connection. I wasn't just there like hiding in the background for the first however long. But
yeah, how did you feel about the whole virginity thing? He was a virgin. Like, what did you think about that?
That wasn't an issue for me. I respected that was his choice, and I mean, power to him for not letting like anyone pressure him otherwise.
Yeah, because he was an ex football player, and you would think that he would at least had some experience. But that kind of dominated the whole show, I think. Being a virgin, and so like in your opinion though, like so how long was the taping from start to finish?
It's about 2 months, the whole show.
So 2 months. So talk to me about your experience with this dating in general. Could you fall in love with somebody in 2 months and get engaged? Because that's hard.
I mean, it's worked before on the show. There are people or couples that have come out and they're still married and have kids. So I think it's definitely possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've known somebody that got married within a week. So
a week?
A week. So it is possible, but then I see people who take a long time, like 5 years. So, it's just a matter of, do you meet that right person, and do you progress?
And everyone like opens up at a different pace, and I think it just depends on the people.
For sure.
So how did you feel? Because I feel like you got a ton of group dates. So how did you feel about that? I felt like I felt like he liked you, but he was kind of on the fence. How did you feel?
I think I was okay with having a lot of group dates up until my one-on-one, because I was still trying to get comfortable just with the whole process. So it was like a nice security blanket to have the other girls with me, and I was okay with that.
Yeah, and what was your strategy? Because I know Demi was like just beeline to Colton every single minute. It seemed on the show. I don't know how it was really, but did you have a strategy, or you just kind of played it by ear?
I'm just very laid back and chill, and that's not like me to kind of throw myself at someone. So I kind of just was like in the background a little bit more, and if he came up to me and wanted to talk, or if I felt there was something really important I needed to say, I would go over to him. But I didn't really have a strategy. I was just myself.
Yeah, I think that's the best way.
Yeah, how did this push you out of like your comfort zone when it came to dating?
It definitely makes you open up a lot faster than you would on regular dates or in the regular dating world, because you do have such a short amount of time to get to know someone. So you're forced to open up a lot faster, and that was a little bit uncomfortable at first. But I mean, it was kind of refreshing, actually, just to be able to like get all your like dirty laundry out in the open, like sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think. Go ahead.
No,
because I think I agree with you, Kirpa, because I think dating in real life, there's a lot of just small talk, and you guys had to get deep. Boring. Yeah, you guys had to get deep really quick.
Yeah.
Is that something that you're planning on implementing, like currently?
Oh yeah, I have since the show. I've gone on dates, and I make sure that I'm very like transparent and a little more outgoing and open. So it's being on the show has helped a lot.
Is this something that you share that you've been on The Bachelor when you go on dates?
Do I tell people that I've been on? I don't like to bring it up. Okay. But if they somehow figure it out, then I'll talk about it. But I don't like to lead with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I feel like most of us here, we Google the person before we go on dates. And Kirpa, your name is very unique, just like my name. And you can find me, anywhere. But
Yeah, super quick.
But yeah, have they ever like brought it up on dates and say, hey, I saw you on The Bachelor?
I have had a few guys say like, oh, my girlfriends or my sister or mom or whatever. I told them I was going on a date with someone and showed them your picture, and then they were like, wait, isn't that the girl from The Bachelor? So that's how it usually comes up.
So has it made it harder to date or easier to date?
I think it's about the same. I haven't had any trouble since, and it's not made it easier. I mean, I'm not getting any like DMs or anything, so it's about the same.
I gotcha. So talk to us about the house. How was that experience, just living with all the women there?
It's like being in a sorority, and I had never experienced that, but I loved it.
Yeah.
It's like a big sleepover all the time.
Nice. So when you're not recording, what do you guys? Could you have cell phones and TV, or is that banned during the recording?
No, you don't get to bring that stuff.
Mm-hmm. So what are you doing? Just reading books, like talking, like
just hanging out and like getting to know one another. That's why you form like such great friendships with the girls. So you're just bonding all the time.
Yeah, and bonding and drinking. That's how I find friends. But how are the drinks? Because you guys always had wine in your hand. Like, was it pretty good? Or is it so?
Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Because I felt like
I'm not like a huge drinker, but definitely like the times before I'm like gonna go talk to him, or if I'm before a date and I need to like take a shot or something, it helped.
Wait, was there liquor there too, or just wine? Or everything?
Both.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Huh.
That sounds magical to me. Like, just sitting there waiting for a lady to take me on a date and drinking and hanging out with the guys. No TV, because sometimes, TV can get a little too much. But yeah, that sounds amazing. So what about the food? What do they serve there? And is it good, bad, okay?
Yeah, we get to like cook for ourselves, so it's nice to like. A lot of the girls would cook for us. Courtney was amazing at cooking, so she did a lot of the dinners. So it was nice.
Yeah. So what kind of food? What kind of food is like steak? Is it chicken? Is it
like box
everything,
mac and
like
cheese?
Chicken, fish, like whatever you can think of.
That is amazing. That sounds so fun. Right, Emma? No.
Her face.
She doesn't want to cook. She just wants to hang out and drink. Okay, so at any time during the show, did you kind of like were you questioning yourself, like you and Colton, like were you, or was it just kind of growing?
I think it was just growing. We definitely developed at a different pace than some of the other relationships, but I always felt like good about where we were headed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because again, Kirpa, like we don't see you until we see you a little bit, but we don't see you until the episode number 6, right? And that's when you had the chin incident, which we only saw at the end of the show.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, what happened there?
So I was trying to get a picture on a rock. We were in Thailand, and it had rained. Ooh. And I wasn't thinking, so I went to go step on the rock and slipped, and my chin took the fall, and I had to get stitches.
Ouch. Yeah, because all you see is like a Band-Aid on her chin.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, what's going on there, Kirpa? but yeah, that's kind of crazy. So what did Colton say about that?
Well, he actually has a scar too, in the same spot. So he was like, "Oh, well, now we're twins." So.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
Yeah. So talk to us about that one-on-one date, because I felt like you guys did jive and bond, and I felt you guys were a good couple. But what was really going through your head during that date?
I think during that date, I was really trying to see if we had that connection, because up until then it was just group dates. So to have like the whole day with him, I just wanted to see if there was something there. And I knew hometowns were coming up, and I wanted to know if he was serious about maybe meeting my family, and if I even wanted to bring him home to my family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's a big deal. Like in
Yeah.
your typical dating life, Kirpa, when do you take people home to your family?
I usually like to wait a while, but if I feel like there's like a really strong connection and they could get along with my family really well, then I'll bring them home maybe after like a few months. But
Mhm.
I like to wait because
And
that's a big deal to bring in like my mom and my dad and my brothers and have them like get attached. And then if it doesn't work out,
Yeah, that's hard.
and
Yeah.
whenever you're, in the process of like introducing them to your parents, is there like one parent that you gravitate to the most?
yeah, usually I like my mom to meet them first.
Yeah.
My dad's a little bit more hardcore. Like he'll ask the deeper questions that I'm like,
So you're
I
like,
don't know if
Dad,
you're
you're
ready
scaring
for
them away.
this."
Please stop.
Yeah. So my mom keeps it more lighthearted and
Mhm.
fun, and so I like to push her more towards the guy, keep him
Nice.
entertained with her.
Yeah.
So, do you tell your mom everything? Do you get like advice from her as far as relationships?
Yes. So she is a psychologist. So
Hey, it's
I
close to what I
try-
do.
Yeah. So I like to tell her all about my dating experiences and see what she thinks.
Mm-hmm. So, as far as again back to the one-on-one date, when that ended, how did you feel about everything?
I felt really good.
Yeah?
At that point I wanted him to come and meet my family, and I was in a good headspace about everything.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of the things that was going on that date that like affirmed that for you?
I think just our conversation and the connection, you just get that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, well, it's there. So I'm ready to take it to that next step.
Because I feel like on TV it's very condensed.
Right.
It was very. How long was the date really?
I mean, you're there the whole day.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Okay.
really? Okay.
It always just seems like it's like an hour or two.
It felt like 5 minutes, but it looks. But
No, like but like it feels like from what they're showing, like the date, like in
Yeah.
real life, is like an hour or two.
yeah, like a typical date,
Yeah.
right? So if you're filming all day, what are you? Is it just more of just getting the shots right and all that, the logistical stuff, or are you guys actually
Just,
doing
like,
stuff?
The activity takes a while to do or whatever. Yeah, a lot of it too is just getting shot. But no, you're just with them all day because they have so much planned for you. They want you to really get to know the person and see if you're right for them or for
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah, and I felt like the kiss too. Their kiss was passionate. I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna win. She's in it to win it.
Ooh. Did your heart like beat or flutter a little bit more?
Yes.
I felt like there was a ton of kissing on this show, on this season. Like
I
a
did.
lot.
I felt like it was a lot heavier on the kissing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, as someone who's also been celibate, that's all you can do, so you get really good at it.
You know what? That is true. Literally, it's each episode is I don't know, hour and a half. Full with commercials, it's more.
Right.
But Colton's kissing the whole time. I'm like, how are they? Do they talk or do they just kiss? And
Was it worth it? Was the kiss like good?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Worth it,
See?
yeah.
You get really good about kissing because you can't do anything else.
I know that's crazy.
Zorric's like, yeah, I'm not a good kisser then.
Because there was some.
Relate.
Yeah, literally. I just skip sometimes. But no, there are some times, like when he's with other people and they're in bed, things can get heated, right? I mean, feelings, and I guess kudos to Colton because he has that self-control, not to escalate because. There's some scenes in there, like it's about to be, it's about to get down.
So basically,
Yeah.
like you would give in to the temptation, Zorric.
I mean, of course not. What are you talking about?
That's a lie.
Okay, so the episode 7, was it cold outside, by the way, in Denver?
It was freezing.
Yeah, because you guys looks like you guys were really cold, but that was pretty dramatic.
Do they
I would
have
say.
at least have like heaters for y'all, like somewhere nearby?
We had a lot of jackets and
Okay.
blankets.
Yeah. But there was a part, I think it started in episode 6 where, but this is always a theme too, where people say that so-and-so is not in it for the right reasons.
Or there's always someone
There's
that's not in
always
it for
somebody
the
that
right
says that.
reasons.
But I think that's valid too. Some people are
Yeah.
there to boost their
Uh-huh. people
career. I think people like Kirpa are there to find the right person. But there was a lot of tension, especially that last scene with Kirpa, and she was sitting there on the table. How did you? Was it that long too? When you were sitting there face to face with Cassie?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't pleasant, but
Yeah. Yeah. Were you really like annoyed and angry at her or the situation, or how did you feel?
not at her. I think it was just the situation.
Mm-hmm. And of course, like on the show, they put you in the same room together. Obviously, I mean,
Yeah.
of
course.
to make
To like
it,
build attention.
yeah, to build tension.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a really eventful episode, because that was the episode that he figured out who he would take, or or who would go to, or where he would go. Sorry, yeah,
Yes.
as far as the women and their families. So
Yeah. This
Yeah.
was the okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, Kirpa was not picked. How did you feel about that?
It was definitely sad, but
Yeah.
then I had to think like, well, he wanted to pick her, so they obviously have a stronger connection, and I can't be mad at that. If he's not my person, he's not my person. I'm not going to force anything.
So is that how you typically deal with rejection? I've been rejected a lot, but is that typically how you? Because you seem pretty like you're a pro, right? You just kind of hold it together.
I've been rejected so much. I'm fine. No, yeah. I mean, you can't let it totally bring you down. I mean, I definitely have days after like something doesn't work out or a relationship ends where I'm sad, but then you have to just realize, okay, well, that wasn't my person. There's someone out there that's even better, and you just keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about that one scene that all the buzz was around?
Yes. Which one?
What was your reaction to Colton jumping the fence?
Oh gosh.
I laughed. I could not stop laughing.
It was funny, but then to see him so upset, I was like, oh, I felt bad for him.
Oh yeah, that part, yes, but like the part of him jumping the fence, I was
But
like,
the
what?
actual fence jump, was kind of like, I was impressed. I was like, how does someone do that? And then Chris Harrison having to wait for the gate to open.
Because he was like, nah, I'm not about to jump this
That's not
fence.
happening.
Well, I mean, he's an athlete, obviously, so he can jump that fence. But
Zorric, would you jump that fence?
no, I would wait. Then I would get really mad and storm and stomp my feet. Stop my.
Stupid fence is too slow to open.
Well, I mean, I can see where he's coming from, because I've never had the chance to date 30 women, and I feel like that is so stressful.
Yes, but that's also not minimize the fact that it's also stressful for the girls.
Oh, okay, fine. It is.
It's stressful for everyone.
Yeah.
I think you're in a very stressful environment. Tensions are high, emotions are high. You know, it's sort of like you don't have the connection to your family and your friends who ground you. You're around other the people that are grounding you are also on high alert, just from a therapeutic perspective. It doesn't help that everyone's emotional tank is on E, trying to be supportive for everyone else that's also on E.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I saw that in some of the scenes where people were not picked for the one-on-one, everyone got so emotional.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a rejection there.
It's sort of when you're tired and you need a nap, when you're a kid, or me sometimes as an adult, and I just get so frustrated because I just need to take a nap because I'm so tired and cranky. I need to have a snack and nap, and then when I wake up, I'm fine again.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everyone at some point just needs to take a nap and be okay again.
Okay.
So I think everyone's just so depleted of everything.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So by episode 6 or 7, Kirpa, were you just mentally tired, or were you still pretty much going?
I mean, there was definitely times where I felt like I was, just emotionally drained, but I had a journal that I kept that helped a lot, or I would just read. Yeah, just kind of bring myself back down to earth and ground myself. So,
what books were you reading?
What did I bring? Oh, I brought Infinite Possibilities by Dooley, I think it is. So I would read that one a lot. And then the love language book, 5 Love Languages.
What's your love language?
My main one is quality time, and then the one right under it is physical touch.
Oh,
Nice.
so quality time. So whenever, I think you need much more time with him, with Colton, if that's your love language, right?
That's her
Yeah, that would
main
be
one.
nice. That would
Yeah.
be ideal.
Yeah.
And then he's a great kisser, so
So
obviously.
apparently, like, that
So
box
there's
is
the
checked.
physical touch.
Yeah. So is that something that you look for in a date or a person whenever you're going on these dates, like what their love language is and how they interact with you?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely take note, even if it's just like a text message or something, just showing that they're reaching out or initiating. That's kind of like quality time for me too. Even if they're really busy, but they're taking the time to like say hello or reach out. That's just nice.
Do you ask that question on your first date?
Not
What are-
my first date, but maybe like 2 or 3. I'll bring it up like, oh, what's your love language?
At least she
Just
waits
see
a
if
little
they
bit,
know about
Zorric.
it.
Zorric likes to ask on the first date, which
The first date?
yeah.
You know what? It's time to get down to business, all right, guys? Like I need to know, or we're out.
I don't
okay?
ask that question because I'm a therapist and a counselor, so like I need non-therapeutic things to talk about.
Yeah, but that's important. Did you talk to Colton about that? Love languages?
Yes, I think his was gifts.
That's mine too.
Yeah, we did talk about it.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Because
too bad.
gifts is a real love language.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Too bad that they cut. Was that part of a date or a group date, or when was that conversation?
Oh, I can't even remember. It might have been on the one-on-one date.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Look at Chapman getting more, what's it called?
notoriety.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when Colton says goodbye, are you really just going on a plane and getting out of there, or is that just part of the show?
No, yeah, you get out of there.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rip the Band-Aid.
Because
Oh, yeah.
you see them, like the guy grabbing the suitcase for some of the people that leave, and you think
Yeah.
it's part of the show, but wow. So you really didn't know. You don't know anything, like what's gonna happen.
You don't know. Yeah, you don't know what's gonna happen, and once you leave, you're gone.
So does everybody like are you packed at all times in the event that that's going to happen?
Yeah, you should
Okay.
just always be packed. Yeah, before a big date. Yeah,
Oh, so
if
you
there's a
can't even
possibility.
you can't even like nest then.
No.
Like I'm a nester. Like like even if I'm staying for one day, like everything goes into the drawer.
Yeah, because they were flying to Vietnam and Thailand, and so they were
Oh, wow.
Denver, so they were on the go. Who did you room with, or was that assigned, or you just kind of pick somebody?
You kind of just go with the flow and see where there's room. I mean, definitely girls gravitate towards certain people. So I would like hang out with like Sydney, Tasha, Nicole. We would room together a lot. So
Mm-hmm. So okay, so life after The Bachelor, how's it going?
really good.
Yeah. Any other shows that you're gonna jump on, or?
Not that I know of. No.
Okay. So for people who want to get on the show, like what do you tell them? I guess some hints and recommendations on getting on the show. Is there something or advice or?
I do get a lot of DMs with that question, and I mean, I don't even know what I did to get on. You
So
just
you're
gotta be
getting
yourself
DMs, just
and-
not getting the right DM.
Wait, say that again.
So
Sorry.
you're getting DMs, just not like the right DMs.
Yes, exactly. A lot from girls asking about the show. Yeah.
So basically, just try, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Kirpa?
be yourself.
Mhm.
And I mean, I didn't really do anything special.
Okay. So dating now. So are you back on the apps, or are you like, how are you meeting people?
Yes, I gave in. Back
I still haven't.
Yeah.
Zorric and I hung out last weekend, and he's like, "Give me your phone. I'm gonna put you back on the dating apps." I was like, "No." He's like,
you're
let's do
stronger
it
than
now.
I am.
I would not give him my phone.
So are you dating somebody seriously right now, or are you just kind of seeing what's out there?
I was kind of seeing someone that is no longer happening, so I'm back on apps and kind of just seeing what's out there again.
Mm-hmm. That's hard too, especially coming from, so how long until after the show did you start dating again?
I waited a little bit because it's just kind of weird to transition. I took a long trip with a girlfriend after I got home, went back to Asia and kind of just explored and took some me time.
Yeah.
And then like towards the end of the year, I started like testing the waters with dating again.
Mm-hmm. What's your app of choice?
I really like Bumble.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm open to any suggestions if you guys have them.
Yeah. So one of my favorites was actually Coffee Meets Bagel. I don't know if you'll have that in LA. Mm-hmm. We have it here in Dallas. I really liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't tried that one. So
Yeah.
okay.
That's where my best friend found her husband.
There you
So
go.
it works. It just hasn't worked for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got to keep track. So there's also Hinge. Hinge is kind of catching fire right now. You should check that one out. That one's pretty good.
Okay.
So most of our listeners are ladies between the ages of, I think, 24 and 37. So what kind of advice could you give them for them that are dating and single and, trying to find that right person?
I think from my dating experience, what I've learned is just totally be yourself. Don't try and like adapt or make yourself someone else for the other person. And just have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously. And if it's the right person, you'll just know it'll flow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those are some nice words. Because it's hard. It's hard out there. We get tons and tons of questions about dating, and I don't think we've recently haven't gotten anything that we haven't heard before. It's kind of all the same. But it's hard out there. So
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Kirpa, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, you guys. This was fun.
Yeah, we learned so much about you and about your family and just the show in general. And so how can people find you? Or is there something that you like to plug? Or
Well, I'm on Instagram, so if you want to follow me on Instagram, yeah, that's about it. I don't really use a lot of social media. Is that a thing? Should I be on like Snapchat or is that how you find a guy? I don't know.
I don't know. I think, a lot of people find people through Instagram recently. That's what I've been hearing.
Okay.
Like
well,
DMs.
I'll be there for any guys listening.
Okay. Anything, what's the most important lesson you learned from Kirpa, Emma? The most important lesson.
Get it all out from the beginning.
Yep. Do it. You won't regret it.
Yeah, I agree. What I learned most from Kirpa is love languages matter.
They do.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they don't matter. I'm just saying that's not the first thing I'm going to ask you. Just
Right.
like I'm not going to ask you about your Enneagram and what your conflict resolution style is. I'm not asking that crap on my first date because I just got off work, but that's exactly what I was talking about.
But hold on, Kirpa. Is that a good question on a show, though? Like, what's your conflict resolution style?
Nope. I don't think so.
Okay. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for listening. Kirpa, thanks again. We wish you luck and hope to talk to you soon.
Yes,
and,
thank you.
Yeah, thanks again. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Date Podcast. Please subscribe and review if you liked what you hear. Send us an email at hello@datepodcast.com for any questions, comments, or show topics you'd like for us to discuss. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Most importantly, tell your friends about our show.